Hello, this presentation is on professionalism, and it is to act as an introduction into developing professionalism skills. So the objective is that students will be able to develop basic understanding of concepts of professionalism and the soft skills required to have success in being a professional. Some terms you need to know, and also these are terms that I hope to see in your discussions and coursework. The first is professionalism, which is the conduct, aims, or qualities that characterize or mark a profession or a professional person. Interpersonal, which is being, relating to, or involving relations between persons. Intrapersonal, which is occurring within the individual mind or self. Networking, which is the cultivation of productive interpersonal relationships for employment or business. And these are terms that weren't necessarily covered in our live session this week. Integrity, which is a firm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic values. Incorruptibility. Communication, a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, or behavior to build a rapport with others. Critical thinking, the intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and/or evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication, as a guide to belief and action. And last but not least, attitude, a mental position regarding or feeling or emotion toward a fact or state. So here's an overview of professionalism. So what professionalism is, going a little bit beyond the definition, basically entails how a professional conducts themselves, which includes responsibility, integrity, accountability, and excellence. It also entails how a professional communicates, which is effectively, appropriately, and productively. Now, the specific skills in professionalism are referred to as soft skills. These help to achieve a professional state. They are communication, enthusiasm and attitude, teamwork, networking, problem solving, and critical thinking. When you blend these varied skills, it'll assist you in conducting yourself as a professional. Not to mention it can also improve your relationship with others. So, how are these 5 skills going to help you as a professional? When you communicate effectively, you are able to share your needs, vision, as well as what you need from others to get the task at hand done. When you communicate openly, honestly, and objectively, it helps create a rapport with others. This means you build more positive interpersonal relationships at work or in your personal life. If people don't have to guess where they stand with you and what you need and/or want, then they feel safer being around you. Appropriate and inclusive language is vital to building strong, positive, interpersonal relationships. When you speak respectfully to one another, as well as in terms that do not alienate or exclude a person and/or group of people from a different background, you build a larger network of people in your profession and your friendships. This provides more opportunity to learning new perspectives and potentially opportunity to achieving even greater things than you imagined because you have diversity among your peers. A lack of diversity would be like building a house only out of square blocks. Your house would only be uniform or square. With different shapes of blocks, you could build a house with stronger foundations and uniqueness, so it won't get confused with another person's house. Lastly, effective and appropriate communication establishes you as a professional in your field. People are more likely to listen to you if you have stronger, open communication skills. They will know what you know, and they will know that you are a person they can come to get help or get quality work when completing a project. Enthusiasm and attitude. Enthusiasm is a feeling of excitement that you project when doing your work. It is an attitude that many professions seek out in an individual. Your attitude sets you apart from others. Your level of enthusiasm regarding your work, education, and even when you are interacting with others is part of your personality. Not everyone has the same level of enthusiasm, but that is good too. However, negative attitudes that lack any enthusiasm are often overlooked in the workplace, job interviews, and people. Your attitude reflects a good deal of the type of work you are going to contribute to your profession. For example, a salesperson at a car lot whose attitude is glum and bored may be seen as dismissive or disinterested in selling a car. But if you don't sell a car, you don't make commission, which means less money in your paycheck. Now, the salesperson who is moderately enthusiastic and semi-working on paperwork is someone that is seen as approachable. People want to seek out others who seem open to talking to others. In any profession, it is important that your peers and your employers feel that you are enthusiastic and want to interact with them. Your level of enthusiasm and attitude are contagious, but in a good way. When you have an attitude that this can be done, and you want to be there with those people, the energy level in the group will go up and be more positive. Good employers want a work environment with high energy. Enthusiasm creates more energy, which creates more security for others in the workplace. If no one greeted each other, if no one listened when their peers were talking to them, then people feel less valued and less important. This can lead to isolation, anxiety, and a feeling of being unsafe. Keeping your level of enthusiasm up and an open, positive attitude helps make people feel welcome, like they belong, and most importantly, safe. Think about your teachers, present and or past. Who made you feel safe just entering their classroom? Did their attitude towards you influence that feeling? Now, can you see where this is going? If you are an individual who boosts the energy and creates security for others with your presence, you are creating a positive work environment. Good companies where their employees stay even during the hard times are the workplaces that have created a positive environment for a community of individuals to work together and belong. That's the goal of any good employer or organization. Teamwork and networking. So everyone has had at some point a negative experience working in a group. If that is the case, it is because at some point at the beginning, middle, or end, teamwork did not happen. When people work as a team, in tandem, helping each other, each person contributing their own skill and abilities to complete a project, it is the most liberating feeling working on a big project. Good teamwork brings people who may not otherwise work together to collaborate. This means you are expanding your network of people to work with, potentially even make a new friend along the way. Working with different people in a team creates diversity that brings new perspectives, which may spot weaknesses in a project and or presentation. This helps to fill in the gaps that may have been overlooked had you been working alone. It can also reduce stress working with others. If every person in a team is working together in their special field, no one is carrying the project alone. Reduced stress boosts your critical thinking ability and helps you avoid mistakes. Think about the team of builders working to construct a new school. If just one guy was doing it, something is going to be overlooked. A job may be unfinished because it can't be completed alone, and the school may never be finished or finished with dangerous possibilities. You must work as a team to make sure you create something of quality that won't fall apart or endanger others. Working as a team maximizes your usage of time. If everyone does their part and meets the deadlines, you can potentially finish a project early, giving you more time to look over it and make sure it is the best product imaginable. More minds means more interpretations, more vision, and more creativity. Bake a cake with just flour, water, egg, and baking soda. It'll come out plain and tasteless. But you throw in some cinnamon, vanilla, chocolate, and fruit, you create a delicious mouth-watering dessert that no one will forget. Ultimately, good teamwork creates a strong network of peers to take part in future projects and experiences that can ultimately move your career in an upward trajectory, which can lead to a better quality of living for you and the people who depend on you. Problem solving and critical thinking. Solving problems through critical thinking is perhaps a lost art for some. However, in many professions, being able to think on your feet, think creatively, and overcome challenges is what can make or break a career. Because of this, you will never be bored. If you are bored, you aren't processing the world around you to find the extraordinary details that may be surrounding even the seemingly boring tasks. Your mind is filled with so many twists and turns and synaptic connections, it is solving problems when you may not even be aware of them. These connections can be developed and shaped by your observations and the connections you make to solving a problem, creating a work of art, or discovering how to surpass a challenge. Why? Because you are seeing the little details others may not. Take the time to watch a movie or TV show episode that you have seen before. What new things are you seeing? How do these new things influence the telling of the story? That is part of critical thinking. Critical thinking engages you in more of the world around you. When you are engaged, you process more. You build up more synaptic connections, which means you think faster and your imagination expands. A limitless imagination can lead to a limitless amount of possibilities. At one point, a shuttle rocket was just something you saw in a science fiction movie. Now we have people living in a space station above Earth's atmosphere, and we are exploring the possibility of establishing a community on another planet. If someone hadn't imagined it, where would scientific discovery be? Not to mention, when you are able to think critically and solve problems in your field, you are building yourself up to become a specialist in your career. Think of the medical field. Doctors and nurses go to school and gain knowledge and experience that helps them become stronger problem solvers, and they focus their studies to become a specialist in different medical areas that can help expand our knowledge even more and save many more lives in the future. So what kind of professional will you be? This concludes the presentation introducing you to concepts of professionalism and the soft skills required to becoming a good professional. Before you go, please make sure to complete the pre-soft skills assessments in order to better understand the kind of professional you are developing into so far. Then contribute to the discussion on your personality and its potential effects on the kind of professional you may develop into. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to message Ms. Stimson via Canvas, or feel free to pop into her office hours Monday through Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. The Zoom link is in the top module on the modules page.